If you're currently using online dating platforms because you want to meet your knight in shining armor, then more than likely you have been distracted by at least one or two of the things that I will be mentioning in today's video. These distractions elongate the amount of time that it takes to meet a quality match, and they're like an invisible wall that keeps you single. So let me show you what these are. The first one is bachelor men who have no plan of settling down. Wow, I have seen so many of these types of men on online dating platforms, and I think they simply use online dating as a tool to boost their ego, to get likes, to get comments. You know right away that they are not there to actually meet their person. Actually, funny story is there was one of these guys on a dating platform that I was using literally 10 years ago, not even kidding. This was when I was 19. I'm now 29. This guy recently followed me on Instagram. Of course, I didn't follow him back. And I was like, this guy is still single. He must be like in his 40s by now, and he's still single. And he's still posting the same exact pictures that he used to use 10 years ago. So how can you identify these types of guys? Well, first off, they tend to use old pictures from like their adolescence, their early 20s, back when they were in their prime. And not only that, but you will notice that these guys get a lot of hits on online dating. So they will get a lot of comments, they'll get a lot of likes. You can see that they've received a lot of attention on these apps. And it makes you question, if they're receiving all of this attention, then why haven't they found someone? Why haven't they met someone in real life? And that's when you figure out, oh, it's because that was never their goal to begin with. So beware of these guys, because I'm telling you, they are very popular on these platforms. And I think they generally get on multiple platforms, and they use online dating as an avenue to gain popularity, to gain attraction points, to boost their ego. But nothing in them is actually looking to settle down. And you would be amazed, like I was, that these guys 10 years down the line are still doing the same thing. They still haven't settled down. They had no intention of doing so. Okay, so beware for these bachelor men. Like I said, you can generally identify them because they use old pictures. They kind of reuse the same few pictures, and they will be on the app for months and months and months. Like back when I was single, there would be bouts where I would be on the dating app, and then I would meet someone, I would get a boyfriend, so then I would get off of it. Then I found several years later, when I got back on the dating app, these guys were still there. So this is one of the ways that you can kind of test it out, is if you do take breaks from online dating, or if you've met someone and then you guys broke up and now you're back dating again. So you will find that once you get back on the app, these same guys are still on the same platform, and they're still doing the same thing, trying to get attention. So beware of these men. Number 2 is pen pals. Oh my goodness, these ones are so annoying. I'm sure that a lot of you women have faced this issue, because I know I have. You match with a guy, you guys both swipe right, you get each other's numbers, and then he's texting you every day, and there are no plans in sight. He will message you, hey, beautiful. He'll ask you how your day is. You guys will maybe even schedule a phone call, but then there is no action to actually meet in person. And what I like doing in this situation is either A, I stop responding, or B, I say, I'll tell you more when we meet. So it puts them in a position where they're now able to step up and ask me out on a date. Or if they're just, they keep baiting me along with these texts, then I just simply stop responding. And if it gets to the point where they are annoying me, then I'll just block them. Okay. So if you get into this pen pal situation, always kind of detour it back to a date. That doesn't mean that you are the one asking him on a date. You're not going to say, oh, why don't we talk about this on Friday instead, you're not going to say that. You're going to say that, oh, you know what? I'll tell you more when we meet. So you're putting it in his ball court, and then it's up to him to ask you out. You can also say that, you know what? I'm quite busy, so I don't have time to text all day. You can say anything along these lines that show him that you're kind of tired of just talking back and forth, and you are ready to take the next level to meet in person. And then it's up to him to ask you. If not, then just keep it moving, okay? Number 3 is those who flaunt a lavish lifestyle. There's always a few guys on online dating platforms who think that this is their chance to just show all their luxury goods. They're putting their cars, they're putting their vacations, they're putting their watches, and you're thinking, why are you flaunting this lavish lifestyle? You'd think that this guy could probably find a woman easily, but for some reason he's still on this dating app and he's still showing off. So a lot of these guys, kind of similar to the first type I mentioned, they use these dating platforms as a way to boost their ego, as a way to show, hey, look how great I am, look how successful I am. And a lot of times they end up being the frugal ones or the scammy ones who literally have no money to their name, and it's all just a facade. They're literally couch surfing, or they have a really wealthy friend, and that is why they're always promoting this certain lifestyle that's actually pretty fake. So why I don't like this, because it shows that the guy, he knows who he's trying to attract. He's attracting women who simply just go for the shiny object. He's attracting the women who he is going to try to have a transactional relationship with, right? Look at this amazing lifestyle I have. Now let me get something from you in return. So let me just say this to you, ladies. Real affluent, wealthy men do not want to flash what they have. They are actually very discreet, and they tend to be more quiet with the things that they own, with the notoriety that they've achieved. They don't want everyone to know that they are on an online dating platform. So they are not going to be flaunting their goods and showing this lifestyle, because they are actually a lot more quiet about it. They're a lot more reserved, they're more conservative, and they don't want to be showing that they have a lot of money, because they'd rather you get to know that over time by spending time with them. So this is one thing that I found is the wealthiest men you will ever meet don't post anything like that, okay? They are not posting shiny things, flashy things. A lot of the times they probably don't even have many pictures up, because they're busy. They're busy actually making money and working and sustaining their businesses. And so it's generally the guys who are wanting to scam you or wanting to get into a transactional relationship that will be posting that. So make sure to ignore these guys, because I'm telling you, they generally don't have good intentions. Type number 4 is the guy who's always asking to FaceTime and who wants you to send more pictures. Any guy who thinks that you're just going to be sending over pictures like it's nothing is a red flag, because it shows that this guy is low effort, he's low value, he does not want to invest in a date to actually take you out and spend what? $100, $200 on a dinner to actually see you and experience you in person. So do not give these guys the luxury of getting your pictures or even FaceTiming. I know that some ladies will do a FaceTime call prior to a date just to ensure that the person is who they say they are, but I've personally never done this. I just like to meet people in person in a public place, in a safe place, and then I can decide whether or not they are who they say they are. I think FaceTiming is very juvenile, and once again, these tend to be men who are lazy, they don't have much going for them. They kind of are in the same category as the pen pals, because they're always on their phones, they always want to talk, they always want more and more pictures from you. It's just such a big red flag, because at the end of the day, a man who truly wants to meet you isn't going to waste any time. He's going to ask you out on a date, and he's going to make plans, and then he actually gets to see you for a few hours. He's not just going to get a one-dimensional picture of you that he can hang on the wall, right? He's actually going to be able to see you and engage with you. So definitely look out for these men. if you're ever in this situation where a man is asking you for pictures, you can say, I have plenty of pictures up on my dating profile. Or you can say, you can check out my pictures on Instagram. So you can kind of detour them and say, you don't feel comfortable sharing any additional pictures. You could even say something along the lines of, oh, I'm even better in person, so you'll just have to wait for them. So once again, don't just fall into this trap of, oh, well, I have to send him a picture because he's asking, or, oh, well, he wants to FaceTime to ensure that it's the real me. If he can't even invest in a date to do so, then just keep it moving. This guy is wasting your time. Last but not least, number 5 is the Ken Barbie type, who has a bunch of selfies. All of his pictures are at the gym. Most of them, he has his shirt off. These guys are more metrosexual, which means that they invest in themselves, in their looks, in their physique. And at the end of the day, personally speaking, I don't want to be with a guy who takes longer than me to get ready. And a lot of these guys look really good on the outside. They look really good on the appearance, but they're really empty inside. And they're usually making up for something that they lack, whether it's financial stability, whether it's knowledge, whether it's life experience. These gym bros who are constantly at the gym taking selfies of their muscles and, their biceps, are a huge red flag, and they're a huge distraction, because I assure you, your dream man, your future husband is not busy taking selfies and using Photoshop to perfect them. And more than likely, he's not using Botox either. So these guys who have like perfectly shaped eyebrows and they have a 6-pack that they're flaunting on an online dating profile, it just really rubs me the wrong way. And they're not really attracting women like you and I think they're attracting women who are drawn to muscles, who are drawn to physique and to looks, and who really don't care about the things that matter, which are character and value. So if you made it this far in the video, I thank you so much for watching. I am wishing you the best of luck when it comes to online dating, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.